Hey all, Tom Moran here from Tom's Big Spiders, about to do a rare feeding video. I don't do many of these, and truth be told, it's because I have so many animals to feed, usually feeding time, which I find very relaxing. Becomes more stressful when I have to break out a camera and hope that these guys will eat on camera. So I don't do a lot of them. However, I get tons of requests for people asking me to do them, and it being the holiday season, I figure what better way to celebrate the holidays than feeding a bunch of superworms to tarantulas. There's probably a lot of better ways, but that's what we're doing for this one. So anyway, enough of me talking. Let's get on and see some of my spiders and see if they actually eat for us. All right, next up we have Theraphosa, one of my two Theraphosa blondies that I'm going to try to entice out, but I'll tell you, these guys are fast and hit hard, so I don't know how well this is going to work. No, 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 I dropped it. Oh, oh, oh. Get ready, because it's probably going to... Oh! There we go. Not bad. Oh, 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 oh. There's one underneath it. These are the superworms. Be aware that the superworms can bite, so you should usually crush the heads before you feed them. The only problem, as I found, is when you crush the heads, unlike the mealworms, they don't continue to move around as much, so they tend to miss them, so you're going to have to be a little more careful with them. There we go. So we have Theraphosa blondie. Let's see if I can get the other one to eat as well. This time I'll try not to drop the prey item. This one's right up top too. Next up we have Phormictopus auratus, one of my favorites. These guys are so beautifully golden, and they're usually great eaters, so hopefully get a good grab out of this. Oh god. There we go, get right up there. Give it another one. All right, so what I just did off camera is I went to blow the stuff off of the superworm, and like a buffoon, I blew into the container, and it is all over me now. All right, you want to grab those. Grab it, grab it. These guys I got, oh god, about 2 years ago. They've been a little slower growing than some of the other Phormictopus species. They are a Cuban species, so that could account for some of the difference, but my lord, that gold is absolutely stunning. I can turn this around. The only problem I found with the superworms is sometimes they grab one and then they don't bother grabbing the other one. Or in this case, they're grabbing neither. So if she doesn't go ahead and eat those, I'm going to have to pull those out of there in a minute. Wonderful. Here we go. Typical Moran feeding video. All right, well, we're going to move on and try to feed somebody else. That is Phormictopus auratus. Cuban gold, I think, or Cuban bronze. They're more gold than bronze. Auratus, I believe, means gold. So, all right, moving on. All right, next up we have Teabogans. I've heard it pronounced tittlecloxol, tittlecockle, tittlecox. Like there's a million different names. Some of them don't sound appropriate. It's Aztec, and unfortunately there's a lot of people out there that are professing an ability to pronounce ancient Aztec. I am not one of them. So we'll just call it Teabogans. This one's usually a really good eater for me, so there we go. Doesn't matter if they change her genus, she's still eating for me. This one, this is one of my first purchases from Fear Not Tarantulas. I picked her up as a little sex juvenile female, and she's grown up into a big girl. Not quite. Well, there we go. Oh, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, dig it up, dig it up. Nope, nope, you missed it. There we go. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, what a mess. Get in nice and close on that one.
It's on double.
Beautiful Teabogans with a dog licking itself in the background, because again, we can't do videos without some type of dog interference. Absolutely love this girl. She's a little faded out right now. When you get more of that red on the bum right after a molt. So once they, just like any tarantula, usually the brightly colored ones, once they molt, they have the colors are super vibrant and bright, and they start to dull out the further they get from the molt. There we go, Teabogans. Next up, we have one of my Phormictopus species, full green, Although, again, this one, it's been a while since a molt, so it's not particularly green right now. And the worm is on the floor. There you go, buddy. That's your food. Yep, you want to eat it. There we go. Yep, you can see some of the green on the femur there. As we tilt it around. Let me try to get him another one.
Oh, look, the greens are beautiful.
I'm glad they're coming out because you don't see them as much. Right down in the front if you want. Nice gushy shot. Oh, there we go. Greens are coming out. These ones I picked up about 2 years ago as well. Again, growing like typical for Myctopus, they tend to shoot up that first year. You go from having a tiny sling to like a 4-inch big hairy, adult-looking spider, and then they tend to slow down after that. So unlike, say, Theraphosa species, where I found that they never slow down the growth rate, they just grow quickly regardless. These guys, they hit that 4 or 5 inch spot and then they slow down. They have a lot longer between molts, but still they're gorgeous. You can see the green on the femurs. When she originally molted, I'm going to say she, when she originally molted, there was some greenish tinge to her carapace. So I'm hoping this won't be another green femur because I already have, I think, 5 of those and I'm trying to get the full green ones. But there we go, for Myctopus species, supposedly full green. Okay, here we got my Pamphobedius species Arañopollito, or the chicken spider, supposedly some type of probably Pamphobedius antinus. We'll see if we can drag her out. And we definitely can. Such a big, tasty girl. Oh my God, gorgeous. And she is quite large, probably pushing, she's definitely got 7, probably a little bit over 7 or so. Gorgeous spider. Looks a little different from my other Pamphobedius antinus. One of the things that's out there is that the chicken spider is some type of antinus. I am not familiar with all the different ones, the different species of antinus are out there. There's a bunch of them, though, that are sold under the name P. antinus. There's the big black version, and then there's another version. It's like blue, some type of blue. What a beauty. Love the coloration on her knees, like that, almost around here. There's some like peach coloration. Big, beautiful girl. Looks so velvety, too. It's like one of the few that I want to pet, but I'm pretty sure that would not end well. There we have Pamphobedius antinus. Unfortunately, I did have 2 of these. I've had people ask, and one of them outgrew its enclosure quickly. So I rehoused it and I put it into a container with substrate that was contaminated. This was a couple winters ago where I lost a lot of animals due to substrate that had been contaminated with something, I'm thinking probably herbicide, because all of them had trouble either during molt or before molt. They would go into pre-molt and then die. And she was, one of them was in pre-molt, and next thing I know, she was dead. It was devastating, and it ended up costing me a lot of animals. So still reeling over that one. But there we go. This one's alive, well, doing great. Pamphobedius Arañopollito, or the chicken spider. All right, now everybody's favorite ball of fluff, the Nandrew Trepepi, who I'm hoping will eat for me. No, no, no. No, no, girl. She's got a mind of her own. All right, I'm going to drop it right up in here, so get ready. There we go. I love this girl. Maggie, I think that was one of the, she reminds me of a golden retriever. Obviously, we're huge dog lovers here. Oh, sorry, girl. But she reminds me like of a golden. No, you want to eat that. Eat it, eat it. No, no, scoop it up, scoop it up, scoop it up. But I love this ball of fluff. She's adorable. So fluffy. Just seems to have such a personality. She's like bubbly. No, I'm going to grab the one behind us trying to escape. All right, she gets one. I did actually feed her earlier too, so she's getting a lot here. This one is one of the few spiders I bought as a young adult. I think she was like 4.5, 5 inches from Tom Patterson, a sex female. I normally don't buy adults, but she just looked gorgeous. I'm glad I did, but I do want to get slings and raise them up. So this is one when I do. People have been asking me to do a care guide on them, and I just don't feel, I don't like doing care guides on ones that I didn't grow up from slings. Anybody can pick up an adult and do well with them. So hopefully we'll get some slings to be able to do a care guide in the future. But there we go. Nandu tripepi, Brazilian blonde, no, Peruvian blonde, not Brazilian, Peruvian. Beautiful spider, one of my favorites, and tends to be a crowd pleaser. Every time I post images of her, people freak out. So if you ever see these guys for sale, I would buy them. All right, next up we have another crowd pleaser from Phormictopus species Dominican violet. These guys are nuts, so we're going to be careful with this one. Yeah, look at that craziness. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Oh, scrump. Really? Really? Take it up. All right, I'm going to get it out of the way. Boom. And like a ninja. Well, there it is. It's beautiful. Let's get a shot of it. Now this one is in dire need of a molt, and I got a funny feeling it's in pre-molt now, which is why it didn't eat, which is good because I am really, really, really excited. A lot of reallys there to see those the adult colorations, my lord, the purples, because every time they molt, the purples are so brilliant, and then again, they just kind of dull out as they get older and further away from the molt. But there we go, Phormictopus species Dominican violet. But wait, there's more. I have another one that may eat. These guys are wackadoo. Out of all the Phormictopus, these are probably my most skittish. So we're going to go ahead and do another one. And see if this one maybe wants to eat for us. We're going to go slowly open this up. This is one of my other banner spiders. I have the Ophilipinus, and then... You feel it? You feel it? You feel it? Seriously? Wow. Nothing? No? Come on. There you go. There you go. Take it up. Take it up. Oh, thank gosh. All right. Now, again, this one's dulled out because it has been probably close. Oh, God. It might even be a year and a half since its last molt. I'll drop another one in there. Oh, those purples are showing up.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are stunning. This is one that I will breed eventually. Mark my words, I want more of these on the market. I've been a huge champion of Phormictopus species for years, and these tend to be the ones where people are like, oh, no, Phormictopus, they're boring, they're brown. Again, I don't think any of them are boring or brown, but you show them some Dominican violets and they freak out. They immediately ask, oh, those have to be males. Nope, those are females. Absolutely stunning. And this is the one with the more pink carapace. I think this is the one that was on my website header for a while. It has the pinkish and purple, but just absolutely stunning spiders. Gloriously beautiful. I use stunning too much, so I'm trying to break it up a bit. There we go, Phormictopus species Dominican violet, stuffing her face with some big old fat worms. All right, here we go. This is Pamphobedius antinus, my big female, had her for quite some time. She's a little shy on camera, so we'll see how this goes. Not shy today. All right, sweet. And she actually is looking a bit like the Araño pollito. I'm just going to feed her a couple today. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. And she did the butt up in the air thing.
You got a big fat booty on here. That's kind of cool.
She does. Well,
beautiful.
here we go. Little tarantula booty action. Beautiful girl. She molts like clockwork, like about once a year now. Yeah, more brownish tones. She was almost jet black last time before their last molt. And now she's got more brownish tones in here, which makes her look a little more like the Araño pollito, because that's been the big discussion, whether Araño pollito is just a Pamphobedius antinus or some variation of it, undescribed. So there we go. A lot of booty action from Pamphobedius antinus. I think it was like the Peruvian stilly blue leg or something. I forget which one I bought it as. I think I got it from Netbug several years ago. Beautiful spider. Very big, very large. All right, next up we have my Brachypelma Boimi, Baimi, Boimie, call it whatever you want. I've had, I think last I tallied, 14 different pronunciations on how to pronounce this name. It's to the point where it's become comical. So whatever, her name is Lazarus. And I think I explained the story why earlier, and we're going to try to feed her now. Now. She's actually a Boimi, what is the other one? Baumgartney hybrid, most likely. As you can tell by just the red on the patella, the darker carapace, supposedly. There you go, girl. That's food. That's food. I don't use superworms very often, and I think a lot of them don't know what to make of it. And there we go. There's my girl. Unfortunately, she'll never get bred, and she's a beauty, so she will never know the touch of a male spider. There's little wiener fingers. But we're going to go ahead and put another one in here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get it, get it, get it. Still such a stunning spider. Yep, 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 yep. Boom. Beautiful girl. Little skittish. Yeah, heads up on this species. I did a Brachypelma blowout, quote unquote, where I went through my Brachypelma species. Of course, they end up changing the genus of some of them, so I got to go revisit them all. This is one I have to do a full featured species on. I love the species. They're awesome, and there seems to be a lot of confusion, but they tend to grow a little faster than the other Brachys. They're tough as nails, and they're a lot more skittish, I've found. And she used to be very prone to kicking. She's kind of outgrown that behavior, but I have another one that's very skittish and will kick occasionally. Gorgeous spiders, though. Do well at room temperature. Just want to make that clear because somebody apparently said that I said they had to be kept in the high 70s, which I have never said in anything in my life for any spider. So I just want to make that clear. Brachypelma, Boimi, Barmy, Boimei, whatever you want to call it. So a heads up, I had somebody in one of the other, no, we're going to clean it out. In one of my other videos comment on the fact that the water dish was not full. What I usually do is I feed them and then I do the maintenance. I'll go around and pull some stuff out, like this caca. But we're going to go ahead and try to feed her. She is actually getting rehoused soon because this substrate is just looking gnarly. There we go. This is one of my more voracious eaters, as you can see. Oh, there we go. I'm telling you, they don't know what to make of these things. A lot of these, because I use these enclosures. These are the Exoterra breeding something. I can't remember. But I like them. They're nice for terrestrials, but they don't offer a heck of a lot of room. Oh, I drop another one in here. Hopefully her colors are showing up because they usually have a bluish tinge to them overall. I can turn her around and not put my thumb in there. Beautiful girl. If you see these for sale, definitely pick them up. These guys grow a lot more quickly than other Grandma Stola species. She molted like 5 times in my care, and when I got her, she was about 3 inches. She was molting very regularly. I have a hard time with the L's and R's. But beautiful girl, big girl. They supposedly are one of the bigger Grandma Stola species. I've heard they can get 7.5, 8 inches. If anybody's got a 7.5, 8 incher, please let me know. This one here is probably 6.5 right now. So we'll see how she goes if she continues to grow. There we go. Grandma Stola Iringi, or Iringi, if we pronounce both ways. Again, please feel free to debate in the comments. Beautiful spider. Entre Rios is the common name. All right, ready? All right, here we are going to try to feed my P. murinus, who was just out in the open. Of course, now she's not, so we're going to be careful with this one. And she's a sweetheart as usual. Get rid of it in there. I'm going to give her another one. What a beauty. I'm going to tilt the light so we get a better. There we are. Oh, my Lord. This girl I've had for about 6 years. I got her as a sling. One of the slower growing species I've kept. I do think that with P. murinus, although obviously you can keep them in cooler temperatures, it seems to me that if you keep them in higher temperatures, this is one of the species you'll see a huge impact on the growth rate. Although I have spoken to other people that kept them, higher 70s and seem to have slower growing ones as well. But this is one of my all-time favorites. I love orange tarantulas. I just can't get over the looks of her. And she molted recently, and she is just fabulous. And Billy's getting really close with her. Now you're about 7 inches away. She can't jump that hard.
Dude, it's like 3.
It's not 3. I'm looking right at it. 7 inches. It's zoomed in. Don't let her think she's not in any danger. I can see people yelling at me for putting you in danger for this. But there we go, P. murinus, one of my favorites, the OBT. And as you can see with the enclosure here, she's got room, she has depth. And that's why I think she's a little more well-behaved. I think for years people kept them terrestrially. So what would happen is they'd web up the entire enclosure and you'd rip the top off and the entire, all the webbing would come out with them. It would spook them and then you get that defensive behavior. If you give them some depth, this was originally kind of more of a semi-arboreal setup. This thing's kind of collapsed a little bit, but she usually hides right behind here. And even when she's out in the open now, she's perfectly fine. So there we go, P. murinus. One more close-up. What a beauty. All right, I hope you guys all enjoyed that. Quite frankly, Billy and I always have a good time making these videos, whether they eat or not. So that will do it for this one. Again, a little short feeding video. As always, thanks so much. And thanks to all the people who have watched my channel over the course of the year. Obviously, New Year's are coming. We're going to start a new year and hopefully continue to grow the channel. But I do appreciate the folks that have been following me for a while that take the time to comment and say hello. So happy holidays from everybody here in the Moran household. And as always, if you want to check out more videos, you can find them in here. If you'd like to subscribe, very much appreciate. You can click on that one up there. And I respond to every comment I get, so please feel free to comment. Hope to see you guys on the comment section and hope you guys all have a very happy and safe holiday season.